Hey guys, let's talk about hanging hooks on the wall. I've got this closet system. I've got 4 children and 2 adults in this house, and so we need to have lots of hanging storage for backpacks, winter gear, and whatever they bring in that needs a home. So all of that stuff has got to go up on this wall. So I've picked up a few more of these hooks, and I just wanted to highlight that if I'm going to put these hooks up with those little drywall anchors and mount that to the wall, the chances of those being pulled out within 30 seconds of my kids using them is very high. So I'm going to anchor them to this board. So I put a 3/4 inch pine board on the wall in both locations to kind of support these hooks on an even spread pattern. So they're not screwed into the studs, but they are screwed into this 3/4 board, which is going to help them stay on the wall even with all kinds of weight. And so I highly recommend going that direction, planning some solid backing, ideally a true wood board to be able to anchor screws like this to. And if you have the option to put, a hook right through into the stud, that's great. But if you want to spread them out in a particular pattern that doesn't align with those studs, then this is a good option. Okay, here's another quick tip. For finding the center between two things, if you're not real familiar with reading a tape measure and you're just like, I don't know what half of this is, and you want it to put in the center, I make a habit of double checking my math when I'm doing these kind of measurements. I'll take the whole thing here, and I've got 13.5 inches. Well, I can do the math on that, and I can get 6 inches and 3/4. But basically, I can put a little mark on what I think is close to the center if I'm not familiar with this, and then I'll double check from the other side and read the same measurement to see if I'm accurate. Okay, so 6 3/4 is the division, but I can double check it 6 3/4 by coming from the other side. So always check yourself if you feel there's some uncertainty there. But generally speaking, I find it more efficient to go around and do like tasks all at once. So in this case, I've got 5 hooks. I'm going to mark the center of each of those. I've done my measuring. I'm going to go around and pre-drill the holes for where the screws are going for all 5, and then I'll switch to actually screwing the hooks to the wall with the Phillips driver, and then everything is done. If you kind of go one action at a time, measure, pre-drill, install, that can be a little bit more time consuming because of all the various back and forth with the drill and so on. So it's just easier and quicker to go around and do the like items that you've got to do. Okay, let's talk about pilot holes. Why would I want to drill this pine before just mounting the screw and just firing the screw in there? Well, in this case, I'm trying to avoid splitting the wood. And by splitting the wood, if I have that split, the screw is actually not going to be attaching itself to that board as well as it could. And so to avoid that, I'm going to pre-drill or pilot drill or pilot hole this drill through here so that the screw goes into the wood appropriately and catches with the threads in the right size hole. And that's going to hold better than if I just fire it into the wood without any pre-drilling. Now, are there exceptions in drilling right through and right into certain materials? Yes, it's not always necessary to pre-drill, but in general, rule of thumb, a pre-drill will help that thing go in without cracking or splitting the material and holding very well. I did not plan that very well. I only have like 12 inches here and my bit is too long, so time out. I'm gonna have to go get a screwdriver or a shorter bit to get that one installed. Okay, I'm back with the right size.